Welcome to my channel Starwire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. The cameras are rolling, tears are falling, and one of reality TV's most beloved sisters just made a confession that's left fans absolutely shattered. Savannah Chrisley, the fierce blonde who's held her family together through prison sentences, public scandals, and unimaginable heartbreak, just revealed something that no sister should ever have to say out loud. I feel like I've already buried my brother. Those words, spoken through tears on the latest episode of The Chrisleys, Back to Reality, have sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. But this isn't just another reality TV moment designed for ratings. This is raw, devastating truth from a young woman who's watching her brother slip away before her very eyes. What you're about to hear isn't easy to digest. It's about family, fear, and the terrifying moment when love becomes preparation for loss. This is Savannah Chrisley's most vulnerable confession yet, and it's tearing fans apart. Let's rewind for just a moment. The Chrisley family has been through absolute hell over the past few years. While parents Todd and Julie served time in federal prison for fraud charges, before receiving that shocking presidential pardon from Donald Trump in May, it was Savannah who stepped up. She became the family anchor, the fierce protector, the one holding everything together while the world watched. But behind that strong facade, behind those perfectly styled Instagram posts and confident podcast appearances, Savannah has been carrying a burden that's slowly crushing her soul. Her brother Chase, once the golden boy of the family, the charming, cocky, larger-than-life personality who could make anyone laugh, has been disappearing right in front of her. And Savannah? She's been preparing for the worst. In therapy sessions that feel more like confessionals, Savannah revealed something that will haunt you long after this video ends. She's been intentionally distancing herself from Chase as what she calls self-protection. Because she's so terrified that something's going to happen to him, she's been grieving him piece by piece, little by little, so that when the inevitable happens, and she genuinely believes it will, the devastation won't destroy her completely. Can you even imagine that level of pain? Having to emotionally bury someone you love while they're still alive, just so you can survive what might come next? But what's driving this fear? What has Savannah so convinced that she's about to lose her brother forever? The signs have been building for months, and they're impossible to ignore. Chase Chrisley, the man who once radiated confidence and charisma, has become what Savannah describes as a blank shell of who he used to be. The weight loss is dramatic and concerning. The dark rings around his eyes tell a story of someone who's struggling in ways that go far beyond normal stress. Chase is not Chase, she said, her voice breaking. It's literally like a blank shell. You can tell it in all the weight that he's lost. The rings around his eyes. He's not who I know as my brother. The health issues are real and terrifying. Chase has admitted that his body is literally rejecting food. He can't keep meals down, sometimes can't even keep water down. In the past year alone, he's lost a significant amount of weight, and doctors are running test after test trying to figure out what's wrong. And here's where it gets even more heartbreaking. Chase recently confided that if his gallbladder and stomach tests come back clear, doctors want to order a CT scan to check for a brain tumor. A brain tumor. Let that sink in for a moment. But the health scares aren't the only thing keeping Savannah awake at night. There's also Chase's relationship with alcohol, which reached a breaking point earlier this year when he was arrested for simple battery following a night out in Atlanta. While charges weren't filed, the incident served as a wake-up call that apparently didn't wake Chase up at all. The drinking, combined with his mysterious health issues, has created a perfect storm of worry that's consuming Savannah from the inside out. She's watched her mother, Julie, lose her own brother at a young age, and that trauma has shaped how Savannah views loss, grief, and the fragility of family bonds. During one particularly gut-wrenching therapy session, Savannah revealed something that shows just how deep her fear runs. She's already mentally preparing herself to step in and care for her parents when something happens to Chase, because she knows they'll never be the same. She's planning for a future where grief destroys the people she loves most, and she'll be the one left to pick up the pieces. There's a part of me that's so afraid that he's going to die that I don't even want to have a relationship with him, she confessed to her therapist. If something were to happen to him, now I'm closed off enough to where I would be devastated. But I feel like I've been trying to grieve the loss of him little by little, so when it happens, it's not a big bang. Think about that strategy for survival. Savannah is essentially trying to immunize herself against devastating loss by experiencing smaller doses of grief over time. It's heartbreaking, it's strategic, and it's absolutely soul-crushing. The tragedy of this situation extends beyond just Savannah's fears. This is a family that was already fractured by legal troubles, public humiliation, and years of separation. Just when they should be healing and reconnecting after Todd and Julie's surprise pardon and release from prison, they're facing a potential loss that could shatter them permanently. Chase and Savannah's relationship has been strained throughout their parents' incarceration. She's accused him of not helping during her 2.5-year fight to get Todd and Julie released. He's struggled with the pressure and expectations. They've grown apart at exactly the moment when they needed each other most. But here's what makes this story even more complex. Both siblings want to repair their relationship. Chase has admitted in therapy that he wants to be close to Savannah again, that he wants a solid relationship with her. And despite everything, despite her fear and her protective distance, Savannah has said that Chase hasn't done anything beyond repair. I want a relationship with him, she stated firmly. I want him to thrive. The question that's keeping fans up at night is this. Is Savannah's fear justified, or is it the product of trauma and anxiety that's making her expect the worst? Chase's health issues are real, but are they as life-threatening as Savannah believes? His drinking problems are concerning, but are they truly putting him on a path toward destruction? From the outside, it's easy to say that Savannah might be catastrophizing, that her fears are amplified by years of stress and trauma. After all, she's been the family's crisis manager for so long that expecting disaster might have become her default mode. But then again, Savannah knows Chase better than anyone. She's seen him at his best and his worst. She's watched him change, watched him struggle, watched him become someone she barely recognizes. When someone who loves you that deeply, who has that much history with you, starts preparing for your death while you're still alive, maybe it's time to pay attention. Chase himself seems to be living in denial about the severity of his situation. In one particularly chilling moment, he joked about his health problems, saying he's got a hemorrhoid the size of Alabama and a tax bill that could buy a lake house. He's making light of symptoms that have his family terrified and his girlfriend begging him to take better care of himself. His girlfriend Jody has been watching the deterioration firsthand. She's tried to change his diet, tried to encourage healthier habits, but Chase remains stubbornly resistant to the idea that his lifestyle might be contributing to his problems. And that resistance, that refusal to take his health seriously, is exactly what has Savannah so frightened. She's watching her brother potentially destroy himself through neglect, and she feels powerless to stop it. Even their father Todd, calling from prison before his release, expressed deep concern about Chase's condition. Todd revealed that Chase has been dealing with stomach issues for about 4 years, but they've gotten significantly worse since Todd went to prison. The weight loss, the inability to keep food down, the physical deterioration, it's all been accelerating. But here's what might be the most heartbreaking detail of all. When Todd urged Chase to get to the bottom of his health problems, Chase responded with something that reveals just how scared he really is beneath all that bravado. He told his father, "Maybe I don't want to know if something is really wrong." That's not the response of someone who's carefree and unbothered. That's the response of someone who's terrified of what doctors might find, someone who would rather live in uncertainty than face a potentially devastating diagnosis. So where does this leave the Chrisley family? They're caught in a cruel irony. Finally reunited after years of separation, but potentially facing a loss that could be more devastating than anything they've endured so far. Savannah continues to walk the tightrope between hope and preparation for heartbreak. She's encouraging Chase to get help while simultaneously bracing herself for the worst. She's trying to rebuild their relationship while protecting herself from potential devastation. The reality show cameras have captured something raw and real, a family grappling with the possibility of unthinkable loss. This isn't manufactured drama or scripted conflict. This is genuine fear, authentic love, and the kind of vulnerability that makes viewers feel like they're intruding on something too personal for television. But maybe that's exactly why this story needs to be told. How many families are dealing with similar fears in private? How many siblings are watching loved ones struggle and feeling helpless to change the outcome? How many people are trying to prepare for loss while still holding on to hope? The Chrisleys have always been about family above everything else, even when that family was messy, complicated, and far from perfect. Now they're facing their biggest test yet. Not legal troubles or public scandals, but the potential loss of someone who's been part of their story since the very beginning. Chase's health issues are still being investigated. His relationship with alcohol is still a work in progress. His bond with Savannah is still fractured, but not broken. There are no easy answers, no quick fixes, no guarantee of happy endings. What we do know is that Savannah's love for her brother runs so deep that she's willing to endure the pain of grieving him while he's still alive, just so she can function if the worst happens. That kind of love, protective, desperate, and absolutely heartbreaking, is something that transcends reality television drama. As the Chrisleys, Back to Reality, heads toward its season finale, fans are left with more questions than answers. Will Chase take his health seriously before it's too late? Can he and Savannah rebuild their relationship before potential tragedy strikes? And most importantly, are Savannah's fears justified, or is there still time for this story to have a different ending? What we know for certain is that the Chrisley family's journey is far from over. They've survived prison sentences, public humiliation, and years of separation. Now, they're facing something that might be even more challenging: the uncertainty of not knowing if they'll all be together for future family gatherings. Savannah's tears, her fears, and her heartbreaking confession have given us a window into what it means to love someone so much that you're willing to start saying goodbye before you have to, just to survive the possibility of losing them. And maybe, just maybe, by sharing her story so publicly, Savannah is doing what she's always done, protecting her family by ensuring they get the help they need, even if it means exposing their most vulnerable moments to the world. The Chrisley family has always been about turning their pain into purpose, their struggles into strength. This might be their most important chapter yet, not because of the drama it creates, but because of the conversations it starts about family, health, addiction, and the courage it takes to love someone even when you're terrified of losing them. What do you think about Savannah's heartbreaking revelation? Have you ever had to prepare for loss while still holding on to hope? And do you believe Chase will get the help he needs before it's too late? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and your thoughts on these family stories always give me a different perspective on what really matters. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the real lives behind the headlines. And ring that notification bell so you never miss when we explore the human side of celebrity stories that matter. Until next time, remember that behind every headline is a real family dealing with real struggles. And sometimes the most glamorous lives hide the most heartbreaking fears.